The transfer portal has become an integral part of college football, a key piece to the puzzle of building a title contender. But it isn't something new. For years, players have been transferring and transforming their college careers and the teams they end up on. In this video, I break down the top 10 transfer players of all time, and we turn back the clock for number 10. RODGERS STAUBACH, New Mexico Military Institute to U.S. Naval Academy. After a year at the New Mexico Military Institute, Staubach transferred to Navy and made his mark as one of the best service academy players of all time. Although his career numbers aren't mind-blowing by any stretch, remember this was the early 60s, he did break a school record for total career offense for the midshipmen, was a unanimous All-America selection, and was the last military academy player to win the Heisman. At number 9 I have Aaron Rodgers, Butte Community College to Cal. Rodgers didn't get much love from Division I programs out of high school, and ended up going the JUCO route after being recruited by Butte Community College in California. After an impressive freshman season that saw him throw for 26 touchdowns and finish with a number 2 national ranking, Cal took notice and Rodgers quickly climbed the depth chart, starting early in his first season with the Golden Bears. In his 2 years at Cal, he threw for nearly 5,500 yards, 43 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions, and helped lead Cal to one of their most successful seasons since the 40s in his senior year, where they were a touchdown away from an undefeated regular season. Number 8 is Troy Aikman, Oklahoma to UCLA. An injury his sophomore year, his replacement leading the team to a national championship, and a poor offensive fit led to Troy Aikman leaving Norman and heading out west, which ended up working out well for both parties. Aikman went on to lead the Bruins to 2 10-win and top 10 ranked seasons. His senior year at UCLA was his best, as he won the school's first Davey O'Brien Award, recognizing the nation's top quarterback, finished 3rd in Heisman voting, and was a consensus All-American. His career at UCLA saw him finish with over 5,200 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. Number 7, Kyler Murray, Texas A&M to Oklahoma. In 9 games for the Aggies, Murray certainly didn't look like a future Heisman frontrunner, but a mismanaged QB room led him to making arguably the greatest decision of his career in transferring to OU. After sitting behind Baker Mayfield, Murray had one of the greatest statistical seasons in Sooner history, almost 4,500 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions, while rushing for over 1,000 yards and 12 more touchdowns. He ran away with the Heisman Trophy that year and won a Big 12 title, but unfortunately the Sooners couldn't get over the college football playoff hump, losing in the first round. Number 6, Scott Frost, Stanford to Nebraska. Frost was originally a Nebraska high school football star, and after struggling for 2 years at Stanford decided to return home, which ended up being a great decision. After a redshirt season, the following 2 years in Lincoln he went 24-2, leading Nebraska to a 13-0 national championship winning season his senior year, while passing and rushing for over 1,000 yards, becoming the 10th player in NCAA history to do so, and scoring a combined 26 total touchdowns, breaking the Nebraska school record for rushing yards and touchdowns in the process. Nebraska fans are still hoping that his coaching career can live up to his playing one. At number 5, Randy Moss, Notre Dame to Florida State to Marshall. Moss had a tumultuous start to his college football career, which nearly ended before it started after his commitment was dropped by Notre Dame following some off-the-field issues. Then a short stint with Florida State was also cut after a probation violation. Moss finally ended up at Marshall, a Division I AA school at the time, where he was a record breaker. His freshman year, he set the Division I AA records for most games with a touchdown catch in a season, most consecutive games with a touchdown catch, most touchdown passes caught in a season, and most receiving yards gained by a freshman in a season. Marshall went undefeated and won the Division I AA title that year. His sophomore year, Marshall transitioned to Division 1A and he continued to light the college football world on fire, catching 26 touchdown passes, which broke a Division I record, winning the Biletnikoff Award, and becoming a first-team All-America selection. In just 2 seasons, Moss put up over 3,500 yards receiving and 54 touchdowns. Number 4, Baker Mayfield, Texas Tech to Oklahoma. After spending the season at Texas Tech, a fractured relationship with the coaching staff led to Baker finding his way to a school he truly loved, Oklahoma, where he walked onto the team. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably heard the Baker Mayfield career story before, so I'll stick with the abridged version here. He quickly became a Sooner legend and fan favorite, finishing his Oklahoma career with over 12,000 passing yards, 138 total touchdowns, a bunch of appearances in the NCAA career record book, and a stacked trophy case that included the 2017 Heisman Trophy. The only thing he was missing is unfortunately one of the most important, a national title. Number 3, O.J. Simpson, City College to USC. OJ's stellar USC career didn't actually start in LA, but at City College in San Francisco. During his short stint there, he was named to the Junior College All-American team and set his sights on playing Division I football, transferring to USC. Once he got the ball moving for the Trojans, he was virtually unstoppable, leading the nation in rushing in both of his 2 seasons at SC. USC was dominant during that span, only losing 2 games while OJ was on campus. He helped lead the Trojans to a consensus national championship his junior year, finishing second in the Heisman race, then capped off his senior season by winning the Heisman and leading the Trojans to a close number 2 finish nationally. Number 2, Cam Newton, Florida to Blinn to Auburn. The Florida dynasty was on the right track with Cam Newton lying in wait as backup to Tim Tebow, but unfortunately one stolen laptop later and Cam found himself at Blinn College. After leading Blinn to an NJCAA national title, Newton transferred yet again. Just like any good redemption story, Cam found his way back to the SEC and had arguably one of the greatest single seasons in college football history. Over 2,800 yards passing for 30 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, plus almost 1,500 yards rushing and 20 rushing touchdowns. He won just about every possible award he could that year, including the Maxwell, Walter Camp, Davey O'Brien, Manning, AP College Player of the Year, and of course the Heisman. Most importantly, he capped off his career by leading the Tigers to a national title. Finally, at number 1, no surprises here, we have Joe Burrow, Ohio State to LSU. The most recent addition to this list happens to be the best. When Burrow transferred to LSU looking for playing time, he didn't exactly set the world on fire his first season with the Tigers, leading them to a 10-3 record while throwing for a little under 3,000 yards with 16 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. I don't think anyone expected what would happen the following year, as his final season was one for the ages. In my opinion, the greatest single season for a quarterback in the history of college football. 5,671 yards passing, 60 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions, winning just about every individual award he possibly could win, including the Heisman Trophy, and most importantly, leading LSU to an undefeated season and a national title. That's gonna be hard to top and lands him number 1 on my list. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this conference tier list video here, subscribe for more content, and as always, thanks for watching and see you at the next one.